Pittsburgh Piledriver podcast is...
Oops, I'm breaking the fourth wall.
Breaking Kayfabe.
And I got your guys coming through on OBS. I didn't have my microphone unmuted, so like I was talking to, I wasn't talking in the recording just
all right,
now.
Well,
yeah, it's all big fuckery right now.
This is great because we can do an intro and then just pick up talking about where we left off. That's fine.
Oh,
all right.
You know what? If we were a GIF right now, all four of us would just be going.
No, it would be you three and then my computer. Going.
Poot's computer would be Cleveland in the bathtub and going no.
In case you folks out there aren't realizing, we're doing an episode of Breaking Kayfabe right now. We had a lot of technical issues. We were talking about a lot of fun things, like us getting fit and healthy and everything, video games that are eating our lives and things like that, maybe even a little bit of wrestling in there, but to no avail, because my computer just decided to just go, you know what, this bed looks real good, I'm going to shit on it. So it just
So
decided
you'll
to
hear none of it.
No,
so Breaking
it's all
Kayfabe
gone.
became Breaking Computers.
Oh,
We're literally breaking the fourth wall. We're breaking interdimensional walls. We're breaking fucking cyberspace walls.
It makes me pissed off. You know why? Because it's like I take care of this thing, man, because I'm like, look, rebuilding, you can build a decent gaming and recording computer for objectively, in the grand scheme of things, not a crazy amount of money. However, I dust this thing out every 2 months. Like, I take it out and I use like an actual air compressor with a nozzle on it to like clean out the dust and shit. I make sure it's cool. I make sure it's like everything is taken care of. And it just decided, it was like, you know what? You're having a bad 2020. Let's ruin this episode of Breaking Kayfabe.
Everybody is.
Everybody fucking 2020. But
everybody,
so we were,
everybody, 2020.
Yeah, worst year on the cosmos.
Oh my god, 2020 has Homsar. And
Oh
2020
my God.
is so fucking Homsar.
Yeah, wow. And it's funny too because we were talking earlier about Kelsey Grammer. It's the fucking Homestar, dude. That's the thing. Okay, all of us are old. Let's go through. I'm 35. Tom, how old are you?
I'm 35. I'll be 36 in the fall.
Happy birthday, cowboy. How old are
Thank
you,
you.
Ransom? Ageless,
36.
timeless. 36. Beef. What about you?
40.
I'm gonna be 38 in December.
All right, there you go. So Beef's the old man of the group. However,
Naturally.
we all
Naturally.
I actually was talking to someone about this the other day. When I
Sounds like
moved
the
into
youngest.
my dorm at Lock Haven, the aptly named High Hall, when I moved in there, you moved in and we actually had wired telephones in the rooms.
Yeah.
Like we had that.
We had that too.
Yep.
Like, and then the other thing is too, like, I've always been like a step behind technology. Like, it was like, oh, what's your number? I'll call you. Oh, here's my home number. Oh, you don't have a cell phone? Why? Well, then I get a cell phone when I went to college, and people are like, oh, I'll text you. You come to the party, I'll text you. Oh, I don't have texting. You don't have texting? Why? I get texting. Hey, look something up on your phone for me. I don't have internet on my phone. You don't have internet on your phone? Why? So I get a smartphone when, after, things, whenever, like, early versions of the smartphone, I get the smartphone, and then people are like, oh, I'll just contact you telepathically. Well, I'm not a telepath. You're not a telepath? Why? Like, it's I've always been a step
Just behind
but,
the times. Look, when Skynet takes over, you'll be the last affected.
Yeah.
So good on you.
Oh, sweet. I'm the last hope. That's a shame.
Oh god.
But,
this is
2020
bad.
really is the end.
But like,
Oh jeez, Poot.
oh, jeez. Oh, listen, Beef, you gotta calm down, okay? Don't be so knee jerky, Beef. Oh, this
Oh,
is the
geez.
impression episode.
Damn it, we're trapped inside a Pringles commercial. Beef.
But like, no, it's just one of those things. I'm like, technology, damn it. I was having a bad day to begin with, and that my computer's just trying to get in my way. You ain't getting in my way, bitch. You're gonna keep working. Yeah, I'm looking at you with all your nerd stickers all over it. That's right. I'm one of those people. But anyway, so before this all broke, we were talking about video games that are kind of eating our lives. I said Far Cry 5.
Right.
Tom, you said because you stream Mr. Casual Gaming Dad himself over on Facebook, Casual Gaming Dad and Casual Gaming Dad's Corner, Casual Gaming Dad 84 on YouTube and on the everything's. Anyway, so like you go over there and you best sponsor ever. The but you said because you streamed Last of Us 2.
Multi-family garage sales, WrestleDeals.com.
That's still one of my favorite episodes we ever did.
I love it.
Pretty fucking great.
I fucking love it.
Multi-family sale. You said you played The Last of Us 2 and Paper Mario. Those are the ones that are kind of eating your life right now.
Yeah. Last of Us 2 I just finished up last week. The new Paper Mario game I'm starting. I just started Monday. And I never really played any of the other Paper Mario games, so I don't really have anything to compare it to. A few people have been asking me on stream like how I thought of it compared to the other ones. I'm like, well, I'm looking at this with like fresh eyes. So I was like, it seems cool. The color scheme is really cool. And like, I mean, like, you know, for what it's supposed to be, like, it's not, you know, graphically, like, it's not supposed to look like The Last of Us 2 or like, you know, fucking Gears of War or something like that. You know, it's its own style. And I will say the graphics are really, really crisp, and the color scheme is spot on with it. It's fun. The battle system's cool. It's pretty cool so far.
That's awesome. And that's the thing. You're going into it with that. I think the reason that, and I haven't, again, I'm trying to avoid spoilers because I bought it. I just haven't had time to play it because Far Cry 5 and taking down Dollar Store David Koresh is taking over my life. But the reason is because I most people who fell in love with those games fell in love with them because of Super Mario RPG. Now, I didn't have a Super Nintendo, so I never played it. The first one I played.
Why didn't you have a Super Nintendo, man?
Because I was a Genesis kid. Get off my dick, okay?
That explains so much.
Yep.
Well, you know what? So I had
the way you are.
I had Toe Jam. I had Toe Jam and Earl, so all of you can suck it. And Super Baseball 2020. Look it up. Anyway,
so much better than Link to the Past. You're right. My bad.
Yeah, and
listen,
Super
Toe
Metroid
Jam and
and
Earl
Super
is
Mario
fucking.
World.
Toe Jam and Earl is fucking timeless, and I'm working
and
on
Super
playing
Mario Kart. Think of all the things that they're just
the original.
garbage.
You know what? You know what? Everyone.
Toe Jam and Earl, motherfuckers.
You know what? Everyone can fight me on this. Everyone can fight me on this. Everyone can fight me on this. The original Mario Kart, not as great as you think. Anyway,
you're absolutely wrong. It's not a matter of opinion. It's a matter of you're just wrong. Sorry.
Well, okay.
Poot, I'm with you. Mario Kart on the Super NES, I was not as big of a fan of. Mario Kart 64 was when it got good.
That's the money right there. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not going to... Yes. Mario Kart 64, yes, was better than regular Mario Kart. But regular Mario Kart was better than any other racing game that ever happened on any sort of Sega product. That's like saying, hey, you know what? New York strip steak isn't as good as filet mignon, but New York strip is a little bit better than cube steak. Yeah,
Two words. Hold on, I got a good one for you. It's a good racing game on Sega, Road Rash.
Road Rash, bitch.
Never heard of it.
Nope.
Look it up.
Fake news.
Get a clue.
Anyway, my point was, the first one I played was on the 64. It was Paper Mario, the original Paper Mario. And I remember renting that game and playing it and beating it in a weekend, and then the next weekend renting it again to play it again. And Thousand Year Door, I loved it just as much. I didn't play the other ones, but then this will be the first Paper Mario I've played since Thousand Year Door. And from what I gather, and I watched 5 minutes of my buddy Steve playing it, the battle system is a puzzle. And I'm like, no, I wanted turn-based fighting. I wanted a JRPG feel. Like, that's what I wanted. But I'm not going to go into it with, son of a bitch. I'm going to go into it and go, all right, prove me wrong. You know what I mean? I'm going to go in and go, okay, make me understand why this is a viable battle system. And I'm willing to give it a chance. Money. Show
me what you got.
But like, that's the thing, Tom, is like, you're coming into this as your first Paper Mario. So you're kind of going, all right, this is great. I like it. It's neat. It's cool. The artwork's neat. Whatever. But like, for me, I'm going, it's not Paper Mario or Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Paper Marzio. Marzipan. Yeah. The
Maurice? I would.
It's not Thousand Year Door, but it shouldn't be, because it should be an evolution. So we'll see how it goes. But
should be your mother, Trebek.
Oh yes. I'll take the rapist for 800. That's therapist.
I'll take anal bun cover. That's an album cover.
I'll take ape tit for 800. That's a petite.
The penis
never mind.
mightier.
The penis mightier.
That's the pen is mightier. Douse it up all you want, Trebek. The question is, will it really mighty my penis, man? Because if it works, I'll take a dozen.
What a great skit.
Oh my god, all of them.
So this blew my mind today.
All right.
Brittany has been reading all the Ranker stuff, passing her time not being on Facebook as much, which is good for her. I'm glad, but she still gets all the BuzzFeed shit and all that, so that's cool. So apparently, Chris Farley was supposed to be the original Shrek and had 85% of the dialogue recorded before he passed away.
Yeah.
Really?
I did not know that.
Welcome to 2007, Beef.
Why has that not been released yet?
It's Chris Farley, man.
That dialogue.
It's Chris Farley and Eddie Murphy. Like, I'm like, oh, this is great. How is Disney not released? Well, wait, Disney that doesn't own Shrek, do they?
That's DreamWorks.
That is DreamWorks.
Yeah, DreamWorks.
So that would be
goddamn Michael Eisner.
Yeah. I was about to say this same thing. Son of a bitch, Michael Eisner. Are you from DreamWorks?
You don't fucking talk to me that way, you little shit.
Okay, this is the worst.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
You've never seen that South Park episode?
Oh my god, it's so good.
There are so many I haven't. No.
Hey, girl, dude. You want the Jonas Brothers hot white foam in your face?
Oh my god!
And then it gets silent.
You'll wear.
Everybody, thanks for listening. We'll see you on our next episode on Thursday. Good night.
Hot white foam in your face. Dicks out. Electric 3. Dick boogaloo. Fucking balls out. Anywho,
what the fuck is happening?
But anyway.
Actually, you know, it's kind of funny the South Park reference came up because I had So quick thing, this ties in Mario Kart as well. Believe it or not, I was doing Mario Kart the other night, and I had somebody come over on YouTube who I'd never seen before on my channel. Not any sort of screen name that I recognize. They literally come in, and the first thing they say is, "Do you know who I am?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like,
"You want to play a game?"
I'm like, no.
You want to play?
Fucking whatever your screen name is. I don't know who you are. Welcome to the stream. And then he's like, I have the world record. I have the world record on the 64 version, like Rainbow Road on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like 150cc, whatever. I was like, okay, cool, congratulations. If you want to join in on the races with us, my friend code is in the the video description, whatever. Just kind of directing it back. I'm like, what is this like fucking shameless self promotion? So then he's like, have you seen the video? I'm like, I see, like he types that. I'm like, no, I haven't seen the fucking video. I told you I never heard of you. Like, who the hell are you? So the guy gets in on the races, and then Mania's Gaming Fest joins me on the Discord, and I'm sitting there for a little bit. And I'm like, why does his me character look so familiar? It looked like fucking Nathan from South Park. So every time I said it to Mania, I was like, every time he wins or something, I'm just gonna be like, damn it, Mimsy. And then like that in turn led to like her Butters impression, which is awesome. And then me doing like Jimmy from the steroid episode. He's like, yeah. Push it, yeah. You talk to me that way, bitch.
This guy showed up to flex.
Yeah, I mean now he was good. No,
Look,
he was good.
Duckman.
Of course he was. He has a world record in a game.
I know, right?
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Fucking,
So did he join you in the races?
Oh yeah, he did. He absolutely.
How
was,
did
like,
he
fucking,
do?
Oh, he was absolutely destroying. Like just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely cream. Like I was fighting for third and fourth place because of him and like another person or two that were in there. So I was just kind of like, whatever, fuck it. Like I had Mania with me. We're ripping on it. We're cracking South Park jokes. It was a good time. Like I was fine, So, but I just had to laugh at the fact that he was like, it comes in. I was like, no offense to you. I was like, I'm not calling you mentally challenged or anything, but your fucking me looks like Nathan from South Park. I was like, we need to get in here. Yeah. Do you know who I am?
That's the fucking stupidest thing in the world. Like,
do you know who I am? But no.
The fucking dumbest thing in the world.
Although
I love how it was. Do you know who I am? No. Oh, okay. Have you seen my video where I set the record? No, I don't know you. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're referencing.
Did he recently
so no, I haven't
set
seen your video.
Did he recently set it?
I have no idea.
Well, that's the thing. If it was a recent setting, maybe he just doesn't have the social skills to be like, oh, okay, these world records get made and broken all the time, and maybe I should just be amicable.
Now the crazy thing is that somebody else one of the other guys that usually comes in my stream who is also really, really good, then he chimes into the chat. He's like, oh, I know who you are. And I'm like, what the fuck balls is this? Like, so then there was like some sort of unholy alliance between the two of them.
Fucking mutiny.
Like, yeah,
oh, dickheads.
Yeah. I was
that's boiled down to dickheads.
Yeah, I was like, here goes this fucking night, whatever. But it turned out fun in the end, just because I was able to take the negative and turn it into a positive. I'm like, damn it, Nimsy.
Okay, listen.
What I do, boss?
I've got a question that's non-video game related.
All right.
Okay.
How dare you?
It's not $1 million, but it's something different. It's a would you rather, and it's well documented. I'm a big X-Men nerd, so I want to get your guys' take on this. Would you rather have the powers of Magneto, but you would have had to have lived as a Jew through the Holocaust, just like Magneto? Or would you rather have the powers of Charles Xavier, but lose the ability of your legs?
So basically your question is, do you want to be Magneto or do you want to be Charles Xavier?
No, kind of, but like you don't live in that universe. It's just like you're not living their storylines. You're living their history.
I think I'd rather pick Xavier. I don't think I would ever. I mean, like, I don't think I'd ever want to try to live through anything remotely close to the Holocaust. Like
No, look, I'm right there with you, Tom. I will choose Charles Xavier as well, because the people who went through, let alone went through, but survived during the Holocaust, are a special type of strong, and a special type of have a special grade of grit that people don't possess. Like that, I don't know if I personally have the capability to endure what they endured. So I would go with Charles Xavier.
I think I'm going to make it the hat trick. As much as I value the use of my legs, I think that it'd be a lot easier to deal with not having the use of your legs, especially if you have the fucking mind powers. You can just kind of cart yourself around like he does anyway. You know, than like living through one of the worst fucking things in history. Like, short of being covered in volcanic ash by like Mount Vesuvius, I don't know that there's much that would even be on that same level. So yeah, no.
Interesting.
What about you?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what about you, Ransom?
I'm going to be the dissenter. And I'm going to say I would take the powers of Magneto and live through the Holocaust like Magneto. And I say that because I feel like that would give me the ability, not power-wise, but mentally. I feel like that would give me the ability to say to myself, no matter what life throws at me, I've lived through the worst. And I came through the other side of it stronger. And no matter what life pushes in my direction, I'm going to be able to handle it. I can handle it. Sure, that part of my life was going to be terrible and awful. And, you know, the most horrific thing that I could ever experience. But coming out the other side of that, I'm going to have so much more to live for. I'm going to have so much more determination. And I'm going to have such a brighter outlook on life and be able to say to myself, you know what? Not only did I live through this, not only am I mentally able to handle what's coming at me, but if I had those type of abilities, I can affect things for a greater good. I could really make some sort of positive change. That's the route that I would choose.
It definitely balances the great power aspect of it, because like it gives you introspective of what like truly evil, powerful men can do. And yeah, I mean, you know, it definitely kind of and I mean, you know, it can branch one of two ways. You know, you either end up like that, or you end up a bitter old man like Magneto, who's like, fuck this, I'm gonna do it my way.
I'll put an asterisk.
You see the horrors of everything that happened in the past, and you become that. Yeah. You know, you become that evil. You know, not to to do that again, but kind of like what he did.
I'll put an asterisk on it. If we were talking like if I was young Tom again or whatever, and I didn't like, if I didn't have to live through it now and like have like my kids and stuff like that, if it was just me and I didn't have to worry about anybody else, family or friend wise, then I maybe would pick that. And the only reason I say maybe is because I'm thinking, even if you survive it, the PTSD afterwards, I don't even want to imagine. So, but
especially going through it as a child, because I'm in this scenario, you go through that time as a child like he did.
Yeah. So I mean, that's I don't know that I could. I think overall I'd have to stick with if it meant that if I lived through it and everything like that, and I wasn't going to have kids or anything like that, and debatable whether or not I had a significant other, but if I knew I was going to like just kind of live a lonely life or something like that, then maybe. But I don't know.
No,
you know what? Never mind. No, I take that back. I gotta stick with Charles. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we all enjoy a good beverage here now and again, correct?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have this hashtag unsponsored, but it could be sponsored. Hit me up, Taver. I'm part of this. I have this app called Taver where you can order beers. Basically, it's like flash sales, and they send you crates. And it's stuff you can't get around here, or stuff that doesn't have distribution. They're basically like giving them a platform to be distributed, across the country. And I don't know how much you guys know about this stuff, but have you've had an IPA before, correct?
Yes.
You guys?
I Couldn't tell you.
Probably.
I
An
don't know
India
shit.
Pale, something like Sierra Nevada, Tom.
Never had Sierra Nevada.
Okay, well, we're
Never
I
gonna
imagine
heard.
most
one day
people
we're gonna.
probably, unless their only time drinking beer has been Miller Lite, I imagine most people have probably had an IPA, even if they didn't
Probably.
realize it.
Well, no, people out there,
Right.
but I was asking you guys. Adam, I know you have. Beef, I know you have. But Tom, I wasn't sure. But so it recommends a lot of IPAs to me because I'm an IPA guy. I like them. Well, there's one. I grabbed 2 beers for the show, and one of them is called "This Is Just a Test." It's an IPA. It's 6.5 alcohol. The second one I opened is called Pentultimate Unicorn, and it's by Proclamation. And the reason I'm getting there for this, Belch. First of all, there's a Triforce on the label, which is kind of cool. That makes me happy. But I didn't realize it's what's called a triple IPA.
Oh.
Okay, it's basically you have an IPA, you have a double IPA and a triple IPA. Okay, basically what happens is the booze increases.
Oh.
Normally with a triple IPA, you can tell because it's super boozy and you're like, whoa, I got to take my time with this. Well, Penultimate Unicorn is very, very drinkable. Had no idea it's a triple. Didn't look if it was a triple or a double. 10% alcohol by volume. Finished the whole thing.
Oh.
So it's one of those things where I just went, I looked at the can because I was like, oh, this is a really cool label. And I looked at it and I went, 10% alcohol by volume, huh? Nifty.
Oh.
We'll see how that
Better
goes.
start pounding water tonight.
Yeah,
think,
well, no, it's only, dude, it's literally one of 2 beers I've had today. I'll be fine. But it was
Okay.
it was just one of those things that was surprising because I like to consider myself a little bit of a beer connoisseur. And every time I've had a triple, it's always been a chore to drink it, but it's been enjoyable. This is the first triple I've had that went down like nothing.
Speaking of a chore but enjoyable, it always takes me back to when we went to the beach.
Oh,
What was
yeah.
that? What was that, like blood
2017,
lime? Was that was it a blood lime salt? Was that Dogfish Head?
Is it
Oh, the Dogfish
Head?
Head. Are you talking about Dogfish Head Sea Quench?
Yeah,
No.
Sequence
Yes.
Ale. Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
You
loved it.
So, Sequence was okay. Ransom was over the moon with it. And I know a lot of my other buddies absolutely love the Sequence. I thought it was okay. I wasn't, you know.
Now, look, I was over the moon for it at the time. After that, like when we came home, I bought a case of it. And I found that I can drink probably 3 of those max a day. Because there's so much salt in that.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I get so dehydrated, and that headache kicks in real fast. If I don't have a water, like a serious glass of water, in between each of those beers, it ruins me for the day. It dehydrates me so bad, and I get such a headache because I'm so dehydrated. Not only because of the beer, but all the salt in it.
Well,
Oh.
you more than anybody I've ever met,
boy.
get like we'll be having some bevs, drinking, having a good time, and then literally it's like for the rest of us, it's like as the night goes on, you tire out, you wind down, and then the next day you get the hangover. Ransom is the first person I've ever met that like we'll be going, having a good time, having bevs, and then it's like a switch flicks.
Party's over.
And then party's over, he has a hangover. It's not even like he goes from drunk to I'm tired, I'm going to bed. It's drunk to hangover.
Yep.
And
Drunk to
It's the
hangover to,
headache.
like,
The
fall asleep.
headache. The headache comes in, and
Yep.
I think what that is, because I've started to do this thing where, like if I'm going to be drinking some beers, not just like one with dinner, but like if I'm going to be drinking some beers, I have to pepper in water in my
like
day.
do like an every other. I was gonna say, even whenever you're drinking, like every other drink, do water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I have to do that because I truly believe it's not the alcohol that's doing it. I believe it's the dehydration that's doing it.
Yeah.
Because when I sit down and I drink the beers, I usually don't drink the beers. I usually don't have, like, it's usually just beers. And then if, the night progresses into, more and more debauchery, it's mixed drinks. So either some kind of liquor and juice or some kind of liquor and pop. There's no hydration in my diet. And I think that's what's doing it to me is the fact that I get so dehydrated that the headache kicks in. And I think the headache is what triggers the rest of it, the sobering up.
Yep.
I don't think it's the sobering up which leads to the headache. I think the dehydration leads to the headache, which leads to the sobering up. Because now I have a headache, and I'm annoyed because I have a headache. The fun is over, because no matter how many more beers or drinks I drink, the headache is still going to be there, and it's going to ruin my fun. So I think if I pepper in waters throughout the day of me drinking those beers, I think I'm good. Because we've gone over several times this summer to Tara's dad's house, to his pool, and we'll take like 12 to 14 summer shandies over, and her and I will split them. But I also take like 3 or 4 bottles of water, and I'll have a couple beers, and then I'll throw back an entire bottle of water. I have a couple more beers and throw back some water, and I won't eat it all during that time because I'm in the pool the whole time, out in the sun. But I don't get that headache at all. And I think it's the water that's doing it.
If I don't, like, if I'm doing a thing where my Tavern crate comes in and I have like high test beers, 7, 8, 9, 10, sometimes bigger beers, sometimes even sitting around 12 to 15%. I will have water in between.
That's a fucking heady beer.
Yo, dude, I'm so pissed. There was one that I picked up this time. It was a 10-year anniversary beer for the brewery Anchorage. It was just called 10-year, and it was a bomber, like a bigger bottle. And I bought it because I don't know if you know this. There are 2 things that Sad Chuck likes to buy Happy Chuck. Sad Chuck likes to buy Happy Chuck beer and guitars. So for future Happy Chuck to enjoy. The problem is Sad Chuck likes really high ABV or alcohol by volume beers and guitars that Happy Chuck generally wouldn't play. So Happy Chuck is going, thanks, I guess. But like the thing is, that beer I was so excited for because it's a barley wine. And I was all excited to share it. It was going to be great. And they forgot to pack it in my order. And it was limited to, I think, 500 bottles. I was so upset. But Tavern was great. They refunded my money immediately. They were like, here's your money back. Nice. Yeah, they were great. Like, that's why I like Tavern. But anyway, if I'm doing high-test beers like that, I'll have 1 or 2. Then I'll have, like, 32 ounces of water. And then I'll have another one. Or like another 2, and then I'll have 32 ounces of water. I
just pictured DJ Khaled. Another one.
Another one.
I gotta say, pretty proud moment. Not as much with the exercising. You guys are killing it right now, Ransom and Poot.
Oh, thanks, man.
Especially Beef. I don't know if you're how much you're doing.
No, I ain't doing shit. No.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Don't even compare me to these 2.
Okay, no.
These 2 are killing it.
No. I was just gonna say I didn't know if you were doing anything and it just not posting it in the group thing or whatever. But I will say as I haven't been exercising quite as much as I want, but I have significantly cut down pop out of my diet. Like I have maybe 1 or 2 a week, whereas I was having like 1 or 2 a day before. So.
I've done the same thing with Red Bull.
Oh God, yeah. Gotta get that shit out of the.
Oh my goodness, I have not had 1 Red Bull since May 5th is when I started this.
Nice.
Exercise thing and trying to, really get better. And
right.
I haven't had a Red Bull since then, and honestly, I don't miss it. I can't imagine the amount of sugar and calories and bullshit that I cut out of my body not drinking that crap.
Hey,
That's
speaking
why I lost.
I was gonna say, speaking of cutting out, I actually gotta head out and get ready for this Halo masterpiece here. So,
Yo,
Yeah, buddy.
I will catch up with you fine fellows here very soon again. I'll see. I might be able to switch my nights around and see if my kids' mom can keep them Saturdays, so that way I could meander on up that way later on in the night. So we'll see.
Yeah,
dude,
buddy.
if you can,
Yeah,
let
man,
us
let's
know.
go.
And always fun having you around, Tom. We love you.
All right, man. Love you guys.
LT Gray.
All right,
See ya.
later.
All right.
But yeah, no, I dropped when I went like full on like fucking like, oh my god, I'm diabetic, I can never eat anything ever again, and I eliminated like pop like right away. I dropped like 40 pounds in like 4 months.
That is,
And
it's
then-
just sugary bullshit.
Yep.
And I never understood how terrible
know.
that stuff was until
Oh,
I
yeah.
cut it out.
And I'm not gonna get super preachy with it because I enjoy my zero bevs, and even though they are better for you, they don't have the fucking sugar and shit. You know, they're still not the greatest, but they're a nice
There's
thing.
still
whenever
some
you
sort
want.
of chemical in there, you know?
There is, but you know, obviously caffeine. But you know, it's nice to have when you want to drink something. So like that's my thing, and that's fine. Like it's not sugar, so that's what I'm focusing on right now. But yeah, man, like when you cut out the full flavor of sodas, like there is a definitive difference of how you feel, how you look, everything, man.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And I got to thinking, I've been listening to a lot of Joe Rogan podcasts as I've been doing like my lifting and cycling when I go down to the fire hall and do that stuff. And he gets a lot of health people on there and things like that. And he brought up a good point that I never really stopped and thought about until now. Trying to get into better shape and taking better care of my body, physically, and also the stuff that I put into it. Think of all the stuff that is legal that you're allowed to put into your body that is everywhere all the time. All this sugar, caffeine, all this crap. It's all legal. It's promoted everywhere, all over TV, restaurants, everywhere. And then think of some of the stuff that is illegal, that you can't put into your body, that doesn't necessarily have those negative attributes that caffeine and sugar and alcohol have.
Yeah, like cocaine and bombs.
No, like marijuana. Now, I'm not going to get on a marijuana high horse here. I don't smoke marijuana. Oh, I see what I can.
You see what you did there?
Inadvertent, but very good. Very good. I don't smoke the marijuanas, and it's not a moral thing. It's because I am a proponent and consumer of firearms. And federally, marijuana is illegal. And federal government doesn't recognize the legality of marijuana, even if a state does. So technically, if I use marijuana, technically, I need to be disclosing that on a federal firearm form whenever I purchase a gun. And if you partake in marijuana, the federal government says you can't buy a gun. Even if your state says, hey, it's either recreationally legal here or medicinally legal here, the federal government doesn't give a shit. So, this isn't a preachy thing of marijuana because I partake in it. I don't.
To be fair,
hold on.
Like that's the same thing you can do whenever you sign something, like sign a contract, and you're like, yes, I agree to all the terms. Like, yeah, you should fill those out, in theory, 100% truthful. But if you smoke a little bit of the cheeby and, you go to buy a gun, you're like, oh, should I report? Yeah, I don't know, man.
I hear where you're coming from,
that sounds like a narc thing to say there, Beef.
Oh, dear.
What are you talking about with the
from.
cheeb? Good Lord.
Did they just replace Sammy Guevara?
No. Yes, maybe. But I don't want to risk that Because if there is one thing that I falsify on that form, I'm done.
Right.
Like, done. Like, can't buy a firearm. I don't know what happens to the firearms that I already have. Pretty sure something bad. So I don't want to risk that.
Right.
But my point here is that there have been proven medical reasons to smoke marijuana or to partake in cannabis oils. There are proven health benefits to that. Yet that is illegal. But cigarettes, and I'm not getting down on anybody that drinks pop or smokes cigarettes or consumes a ridiculous amount of alcohol. You do you, and that's 110% fine with me. But there's no benefits to cigarettes. All this sugar that America's pumping into their bodies is causing obesity, diabetes, heart disease, all sorts of negative things that nobody really thinks about. You know what I mean? Like, people crack open 4 or 5 Pepsis a day. Don't think word one about it. Never crosses your mind.
Dump fucking half a bale of fucking sugar into your coffee, and then top it off with some cream. Yeah, man.
Don't think a thing about it, and how negatively that can affect you.
Starbucks.
Yet all that
Starbucks.
Yes.
All that fucking like chill mocha loca fucking latte bullshit.
All that sugary, fatty nonsense just clogging up your body. And that's all perfectly fine and advertised everywhere. How many times do you see commercials for Coke and Pepsi? How many times do you see those products in movies? They're at every restaurant, sporting events, it's everywhere. But that's all completely legal. And again, I'm not getting down on anybody who partakes in it. You do you. That's perfectly fine with me. The beef that I have with it is that there are things that have benefits to them that are illegal, and there are things that have zero benefits to them that are perfectly legal. And I just don't. The equation doesn't rectify itself in my mind.
I can break it down for you 100% why weed is not legal, man. It's because the federal government cannot regulate it, because it's so easy to just like pick up a fucking flower pot and grow. Like, it literally takes zero effort. Lots of people have it in their fucking backyard without even knowing about it. So like the federal government. But here's the thing, like, fucking John Q. pot smoker is not going to grow their own weed and roll their own weed. No, man. If the government federally regulated it and had their own brand, even though knowing that people could grow and no, it's the same as fucking rolling your own cigarettes. I didn't have time for that. I'd go to the fucking store and get a joint. That's what I would do. Yeah. So it's stupid.
Yeah, part of me, and this is the Alex Jones coming out, but part of me also believes that it has to do with the pharmaceutical industry. Like, think of all of the things that people are prescribed prescription drugs for that marijuana or cannabis oil could help with very easily. I think the pharmaceutical industry would lose a lot of money. Pain medication.
Okay.
I mean, you think like marijuana or cannabis oil can be used for pain management, for somebody who has chronic pain for something. Well, what's going to be better for the pharmaceutical industry if they continue to buy opioids off of them, or if they're allowed to grow their own marijuana, pluck it and smoke it to manage their pain?
All right. So I'm actually allergic to opioids, which is kind of a benefit.
Yes.
But in turn, whenever I had my broken legs, until they developed things like Dolabid, that are non-narcotic, non-opioid painkillers, I had my fractured femurs. They basically handed me Advil and went, sorry. Like, that's pretty much what they could do. But I will say this going forward, and this is a little bit of a kind of reveal. I thought 2019 was a bad year. 2019 was a time and you said about treating things with alternate medicines. You know what I mean? I went to the doctor because and this is kind of real talk. I'm not going to dwell on it or explain it, but I definitely got to the point where I was, I had a plan to, I had a plan. I had a plan. And when I realized I had an actual plan, I went, all right, time to get help. So I went to my doctor.
Yeah.
And I told him, and I didn't see my regular doctor. I saw his associate, but it was, it was my regular doctor and his associates. It was all one. So I was like, okay, well, I'll talk to this guy. 2 minutes of talking to him. I had never seen this guy before. He didn't know me. 2 minutes in, he said, okay, we're going to put you on Xanax. And I went, what? What? Okay. Literally 2 minutes of listening to me. And then he went off the rails on some stuff. And so he gave me the prescription and I filled it. But I never took one of the pills because I went, all right, what was I doing when I was happy? And I said, I was drinking more water, I was getting more sleep, and I was working out. And I went, all right. And my diet was better. And I went, okay, well, let's start small. Let's drink more water. And it took literally a whole year of me trying to work up the ability to get to where I am now, which is actually making genuine progress. However, over some things that we won't talk about because Ransom got really depressed over PTB's love life, which, boy howdy, there was a zinger in the past couple weeks that put the past couple months in perspective, which I'm not going to go into because I don't want Ransom getting all depressed. But we could talk about that on Saturday. But what I decided to try one day, because I was a ball of anxiety over all this stuff. I couldn't shut my brain off. I was anxious and angry and doing the thing where I had, what would I say if I was in this argument? Those kind of things. And I was dwelling on that. Mm-hmm. I was such a ball of anxiety. And I was heading over to a music store in a town over from us. And on my way, I stopped to get more juice for my vape. And there they carry CBD products. And if you don't know about CBD stuff, there's broad spectrum and full spectrum. Broad spectrum is the one that has 0 THC in it. None. It has no THC. So you don't have to worry about the high or testing hot or anything. It's literally nothing. It's just the cannabinoids. Full spectrum is the one that has THC in it, but it's trace amounts. It's not like a crazy amount of it. So anyway, they have this stuff called Kayfabe, and it's a soda. Oh. And it's made by, and I don't drink soda anymore, but I figured it was a better way to ingest. So I go in there, and the owner was telling me about who I know. He told me, he was like, dude, this Kayfabe stuff, it's broad spectrum, so there's no THC. It's 30 milligrams, and it's in a soda, so it tastes good. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, you know what? Throw it on there. We'll give it a try. So I grabbed one, and I'm still a ball of stress. I'm a ball of anxiety. I'm dwelling on things that I can't change. And so I cracked the soda and I drank it on my way over to the music store I was going to pick up some strings. Finished it on my way over, and I went in the store, got my strings, got back in the car, left, and immediately came back to Clearfield. And I'm thinking about the stuff, but I'm not stressed. I was relaxed.
Oh.
I was thinking about it, but I went, I went, well, I can't change it. Oh, well. And I realized, I was like, whoa, there's something to this.
Yep.
My in-laws use CBD oil for sleeping and even a little bit of pain management, and they, they'll swear by it. So I mean, there is something to it, man.
And dude, you know me. Despite being a Catholic, I'm also a skeptic. I'm a heavy skeptic, especially when it comes to anything like this. Supplements, vitamins, medicines, treatments. I'm a heavy skeptic. but I decided to try it because then I went, okay, will it work or won't it work? And it wasn't one of those things where it was a placebo effect because I was drinking a soda. You know what I mean? Like I'm drinking a soda. I completely even forgot it was a CBD infused soda. And then all of a sudden, the rest of the day, dude, I was relaxed. It was incredible. It was incredible. Yep. Like, it felt so good because for weeks I had just been a ball of anxiety and stress and depression and misery and anger. And that one day I was like, oh, yay. I don't feel that. I'm still processing, but I don't feel all that stress. Oh, it was so good. Man.
So why do you not continue to use it? That's my question.
Wait, what?
Why? So you had it one time and you're like, man, this
no,
is great.
No. I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said I tried it and it worked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now what I did was, and I'm trying to find another one because I gave it a try. It was called Caliper, and it's 20 milligrams, which is fine. Because I'm a bigger dude, it doesn't matter what supplements I take, whether it's B12, whether it's protein, like my pre-workout that I take before I go and lift. I have to have more, not much more than the normal serving. Like my pre-workout, it says 1 scoop. You should take 1 scoop. I take a scoop and a quarter, just to feel what you're supposed to feel, just because I'm a big man. So 20 milligrams, this Caliper, it comes in little packs. It's a powder, and you can put it in food. You can put it in drinks. You can put it in anything you want. And it's 20 milligrams though. And for how much I would need versus the cost of the packets, I kind of go, that's a little pricey for how much I would go through and how quick. So I'm trying to find another alternate solution. But it works for me because, like, dude, like Beef knows a little bit about what's going on with me and what's been on my mind the past couple weeks, and he knows me. Like, I can't shut it off, dude. When I feel everything. Like I think it's the nature of being an artist, being a musician, that kind of thing, is when you feel happy, you're elated. When you're sad, you're in the doldrums of depression. Like you go to extremes. So
same.
For something that is non-narcotic, for something that won't turn the world gray, and for something that will take away my anxiety and my stress and let me manage my feelings, emotions, and everything in a healthy way, that's a godsend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bet it is.
Absolutely. But
I bet it is. My daughter's the same. Well, aside from the cannabis and stuff, she's only 4, but she's that way. She has big emotions, and Tara and I made this comparison probably a couple years ago. Between our 2 kids, Micah is very, very mellow, emotion-wise. Like he doesn't display extreme highs, and I can rarely tell when things are bothering him. It has to be something significant because he doesn't let things get to him. But our daughter, her highs are very high, and her lows are very low. She has very big emotions, and we had talked about that. Just it's funny to see the differences between the 2 kids. It's like when she's happy, she's happy. She's very open and has very big emotions when she's happy. When she's upset, it's super easy to tell. You know exactly when she's upset or when she's mad about something because, again, those emotions are very, very big. So, I mean, I think that kind of is similar to you, Boot. She feels a lot.
Yo, yeah.
Listen, people don't understand. fucking heavy is the head that wears that fucking crown, man. I'm right there with you, Pooh. Like, I have always worn my fucking emotions on my sleeve. Like, that's why I don't have the greatest poker faces. That's why I'm not the greatest at fucking one-night werewolf, because it's all fucking relative, man. But and people are like, oh, well, that's great that you can show your emotions and this, that, but yeah, okay, it is. It's amazing to be able to like not lock shit down and have real conversation with people, but it's also a fucking burden, because like when shit gets fucking real, shit gets real, and like when I'm done with shit, I'm fucking done with shit,
Well, that's the thing is for me, and I think it honestly, Ransom, I think kids, they're more in tune with their emotion. Everything's more primal. Like, so because they don't have the, oh, I can't be upset with this. I have to hold myself to a decorum until I get alone. Then I can be upset about things. Like, they are the way they are. So there's a chance that she might grow out of it. But again, like myself and Beef, like I have always worn my emotions on my sleeve. I can't lie. Like, if I'm upset, you guys have seen it. Like, I can't fake being in a good mood. Like, I just can't do it. But the weird thing is, unlike Beef, and this makes me sound a little sociopathic, and I totally get it. I'm a really good liar.
Oh boy.
I'm a really good liar. But the thing is, I feel like me admitting that is kind of like, it's kind of like showing my cards. You know what I mean? It's like, I won't lie. It's almost like one of those things like Beef said, heavy is the head that wears the crown. The only time that I bust those things out is when I'm playing poker or when I'm playing One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Like, I don't lie to people.
You're a fucking snake charmer, though. Like, you could fucking, you could make a killing as a used car salesman. That's all I'll say.
If I knew anything about cars, that'd be great. But like the
you don't have to know anything about cars, bro. You could like look up like 20 important car terms and be like, oh yeah, this thing's got a great phalange on it, and the exhaust is brand new, and they'd be like, yeah, man, I'll pay you $3.5 million for that. Sure, sounds great.
The calipers on this thing are spot on. Like, my gosh,
man.
You couldn't get better ones than this one.
Yeah, I mean, like, real car terms.
I don't even know if that's a real car term. You can literally throw out random
the air
terms
conditioner
that just sound like it.
The air conditioner flactoid on this thing is perfect.
Flactoid.
Yep.
Like,
and the thing is, though, like, you're so personable, and you build trust very easily that if I spent 15 minutes talking with you and you busted that one out, that air conditioner flactoid or whatever you just said, I don't know anything about cars. But after spending 15 minutes talking with you and just talking, I'd be like, okay, I definitely want the air conditioner with that good flactoid in it. So like,
here's the empath no. Here's the thought process with that, though. Sure, you could sell 100 cars, but you're only going to sell 100 cars. If you know what you're talking about, and like Beef said, I'm a snake charmer. Belch. I prefer charming. That's a little more of an elegant way to put it. Would you rather not know what you're doing and sell 100 cars and get all that money up front, but then never have a repeat customer? Or would you like to have 100 cars sold and then 5 years down the road sell another 75, then 5 years down the road sell another 85, then down the road? That's the difference between a liar and someone who's honest and is good with people. If you're a liar, you get what you want right now. You get to have everything you want right now, but in the long run, you're going to be left wanting. If you know what you're talking about and you're honest with people, but you relate to them, you will have what you want over the long haul. on that note, and you're sitting there going, my God, Poot's kind of smart. Maybe he should be a therapist. I'm going to go have a piss and get another beer.
Oh. Well,
And
speaking of therapy.
You know, that's where Poot and I, like, we are so fucking, like, cosmically linked. It's fucking scary. Because Poot is as personable as the day is long. He can talk to anybody. He can be, you know, we've heard stories of him fucking, like, stopping, you know, coming down for a long weekend with us. He'll stop at a VFW and have a fucking beer with the boys, you know, like, and just talk to people.
Yep.
Me, I can fucking talk without necessarily relating, and I am a fucking my wife always liked to call me a silver tongue because I can talk, I can fucking argue, I can make valid points, and I can bullshit the hell out of you. Whether or not I know what I'm talking about, I don't know half the time. But yeah, man, like that is a power to wield for sure. Because you know, when you know that you can just like Jedi mind trick idiots everywhere, but you don't do it just because you know you have to be the better person, like that's, you know.
Yeah, you really have to walk that line between good and evil, like, you know.
And like I'm not
you
trying
have
to suck
make
my own
that
dick
decision.
here, but you know, exactly,
Oh, dear
exactly.
heavens, no.
But you know, I mean, I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm the talkingest guy ever. But you know, I like to think that I make fairly intelligent and compelling points, and that make people go, that's a good point. But
it's pretty much everything you do every time we have picks, which makes me go,
yeah,
should I be picking the same as him, or should I trust my gut, or should I pick the same as him? So I'm not gonna lie, it happens more frequently than it doesn't, to where you pick a match first, or like Poot picks and then you pick and then I'm last, and I go, damn, I was going to pick something different. Beef made a really good point on this, and that sounds real. That sounds real like something they're going to do. He probably knows something. I should probably pick the same as him.
That's what I'm saying. Like it
happens.
You know,
it happens so many times during picks. I'm like, oh damn. No, like I didn't rationalize that out in my mind at all. I just thought that this person was a better pick. Oh shit! Should I change? Oh.
And I think that's a great dichotomy for Poot and I. Like Poot, like 100% uses his powers for good. I try to, but you know, sometimes there are things.
Sometimes the devil on your shoulder wins out.
Right. Like sometimes I know that I'm the one who needs to get the shit done, so I got to be the one to make the fucking call and be like, all right, listen, here's the shit. We're gonna fucking fix this right now, and it fucking works every single time.
You're the devil.
The best example I can do is when a few years ago when my car got totaled, and not that I was in some terrible accident, it was just a shitty car. It took one good hit, and I was like, well, that's it.
She done.
The insurance adjuster was trying to lowball me. He's like, well, the car is probably worth about $800, so we're going to give you that. And I'm like, listen, man, I can't buy a new car with $800. You guys got to meet me halfway. And, you know, by the fucking end of it, I got like $1,400 and like I ran a car for a week. Oh, yeah.
Holy crap.
There's a Mountie.
See, I can't do that. Like, even if I'm not bullshitting, like even if I know in my head, like if that were my scenario, and like I knew, okay, they're going to give me $800, but I know this car's worth $1,000. I don't have that salesman silver tongue. Like I don't have that ability to go, well, hang on a minute, you know, here's all the good things about it. Like here's all the, you know, me, I would go, oh, you're going to give me $800? Okay. All right, I'll take $800. And then be done with it. Even if I knew it was worth more. Like I don't have that approach to be like, nah, man, I'm going to argue my way up in things.
Well, and
I take the hit.
It's a blessing and curse, man, because like I said, like as much as I try not to use it and as much as I, you know, have used it, like when I get the call, like, you know, working customer service where someone, just once, like last night. Oh my god, this fucking lady just told me to fucking stop. Just stop. Every 3.5 seconds, I tried to like rationalize with her or talk to her or even just fucking repeat repeat for understanding. No, stop. You let me talk. No, stop. And it's like,
Oh boy.
that part of me is like, all right, here we go. Tape up the fucking boxing gloves. We're fucking going down. Like, whether or not this is a hill to die on or not, guess what? I've just fucking dug my grave plot. Here we go. Like, so that's the silver tongue part of me. That's the fucking, the part of me that, can talk and will talk, will also be the one to fucking fight you. So.
Oh, yeah, I can't do that. And I think that's where my biggest failing working customer service came into play. Like I wouldn't be able to.
You just gave up. Like,
yeah,
all right.
like it was like after a few attempts, it'll be like, all right, well, I'm not going to be able to reach them. Like I won't be able to rationalize this. So, like I'm going to give up, and it's going to be a lose-lose situation because company-wise, I can't give you what you're asking for, and what I can give you, you're not going to accept. So we're both going to lose here. And like another thing, like I wouldn't, a call like that, I would pray to get that call at the end of my day, because if that happened at the beginning of my day, it would ruin me for the rest of the day.
Yep, sure does.
No,
Every time.
like I feel like I'm a very relatable person, and doing the customer service gig, my goal always was to help people. It's like if you had whatever it was, if you busted up your phone, or if you had charges on your bill that you weren't expecting, or you did something like, oh, I freaking called Canada or something, I didn't know that I was going to get these charges. Like I just didn't know. That happens. Sometimes people don't know stuff. Now, contractually, they probably should have taken responsibility and looked up and gone like, well, if I call Canada, is it going to give me extra charges? I could probably look that up very easily by Googling it or by going on the company website and looking. But not everybody does that, and I understand that. So my ultimate goal was to always help people more than it was to help the company. I wanted to do right by people because I like to make people happy, contrary to what happens on the show. And for all my best efforts, you would have that one disagreeable person that just wouldn't even want to meet you halfway. Like they'd want their entire bill credited. And it's like, well, look, man, honestly, like I really can't do that. But like I can cut half of these charges for you. You know what I mean? Like if you've got $1,000 in extra charges, a $500 credit's pretty darn good. As opposed to paying $1,000 in extra charges, I'd take it. If it was me and I called up somewhere and they're like, hey man, we understand the situation you're in. I'll cut this bill in half for you. Fantastic. Like you've got my buy-in. I'm off the phone. I'm down half my charges. This is great. But some people were just disagreeable and wouldn't go for it and would give you the hardest time in the world. And that would ruin me for the rest of the day because I would dwell on that one conversation. Yep. Even though in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean jack squat. They don't know me. I don't know them.
Dude,
I'm going to do the best I can for them. And if they don't want to accept that, there's nothing I can do to make them accept that. But it would bother me for the rest of the day.
That's the problem, is that, Ransom, I think you and I think, like I heard Beefs, before I went to take a piss and grab a bev, I heard Beef say that him and I are cosmically linked. We're like a yin and a yang. Mm-hmm. And it's absolutely true. I didn't hear the rest of the discussion, the interim in there. However, I will say, Ransom, it sounds like you and I think more because, dude, I can do everything right during the day. Everything right. I will be perfect at work, with guitar work. No matter what I do, I will nail it. But if one thing goes wrong where someone's upset, ruins my whole fucking day. Like, it doesn't matter how much I do right or how much of the hero I am.
And it doesn't even matter how much control you have in that bad situation. It can be completely out of your control, but it bugs you.
Oh, dude, you're talking literally about my scenario that I will not talk about on the air. Like, I will not talk about on here. Like, Beef knows about it, and, like, that's the thing. I did everything right. I did everything right. And I am still to this day, by the way, standing my ground and proving that I am everything that I say that I am. However, it doesn't matter because someone's unhappy or this, that, or the other thing. Like you dwell.
Yep.
But I think that shows the true nature of a human being, that you're selfless at the end of the day. You want everyone to be happy, but also that doesn't make it necessarily a good thing, though. It's both a blessing. It's a blessing and a curse. It literally is the perfect example of being a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
I wish.
I feel
I had the ability. I'm sorry, Beef. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I wish I had the ability to tell people to go fuck themselves and not think about it ever again. I would give probably anything to do that.
Yeah.
But I can't. It's just not who I am.
8 years of customer service has like wore away any like civility I've had, and that's what continues to make the devil on my shoulder talk a little bit louder every time, and me to give less and less of a shit, because it's like, well, fuck them. At the end of the day, fuck them.
I understand that mindset too. Like, and that's kind of that's almost like the mantra that I try to live by. Like, I don't give a crap what people think about me. And even when I did customer service, I don't give a crap what that person personally thought about me. But it's just the fact that they had an issue, and my job was to resolve that issue. But if they weren't willing to work with me to help them resolve that issue, that's what stuck with me. Like, that's what bothered me. I wasn't able to help them, which was my job. And because they were so unreasonable, it didn't allow me to effectively do my job, because they just weren't willing to compromise or to be happy with something instead of nothing.
Well, and I mean, any walk of life, you're gonna run into that, man. Like, people will always try to take 3.5 miles when you give them like 2.5 centimeters. Like, so that's just it. The shitty thing about being with customer services, and especially being fucking indentured like I am, like, I fucking understand human emotion like none other, and I understand how to fucking respond to human emotion and how to work the angles. And it's like, that's why I get so fucking tired of just talking and dealing with anybody. That's why I'm getting so fucking snippy with everybody all the time ever. Like, because it's just like, I'm tired of people. My friends, my loved ones, my family, they're different. I'm never gonna fucking come off at them. Not really, but like, jerk-offs that I went to high school with that, hey, maybe fucking listen to this fucking podcast. I don't know.
No.
But jerk-offs I went to high school with, a friend me on Facebook, they're like, oh, hurdy-durdy-dur. Like, no, man, I'm going to tell you that you're an asshole, and here's why.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no more patience left at
Exactly.
the end of the day for stuff
Exactly.
like that.
I think it's because, and I was talking to my friend Virginia about this. What I think the dividing line is, like Ransom and I have the same thought process when it comes to that stuff, but I think the thing that I have that differs me from you, Ransom, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is I have always considered myself an empath. Which means being really tuned into other people's feelings and emotions. Like, I've had people tell me, like, I can just tell when people are not right. I can just tell. Like, and this isn't me getting hippy dippy and everything like that, but it's like, I can look at someone and, like, we'll be out just, hanging at the bar or doing whatever, and I'll walk up to them and go, hey man, you all right? Or hey, are you okay? And they'll be like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, are you sure about that? And they won't be, and they'll just like emotional vomit. You know what I mean? And
Like the floodgates open.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people, it just takes that little flick. The problem is most people don't run into someone like that. So, and they don't, the odd thing is your loved ones are the ones that you should be able to open up to about those things and talk and get all that out and get perspective from someone else easily without reservation. However, it's just the way it is, not even just in 2020, but in the modern day. You know, society has put in place that you don't do that. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a woman. It's like you can't just be honest with how you feel. You have to, because it's not socially acceptable. But when someone comes along and just literally like flicks that switch and they realize, oh, it's okay for me to open up and just let all this out, it's a blessing. The problem is most people don't have a friend or a loved one or someone like that. So what do? It gets misdirected. And it gets directed at people like poor Beefy McBeeferson over here, where it's like they don't know that person. It's completely anonymous, and they can get that aggression or frustration out. And they don't have to worry about the thing. But then what it does is it perpetuates the idea that, oh, I can, if I don't know this person or don't really care about them, I can just be mean to them and be a dick if I want because it'll make me feel better. And you subconsciously condition yourself. I really should be a fucking like therapist. I really should.
Yeah, man, you should be Frasier.
I really do. Like, I think I should just like, what'd you say? I should be Frasier?
You should be Frasier.
Fuck yeah. I'll move into a swanky apartment in Pittsburgh, and I'll just like, every time you guys come over and be like, gentlemen, hello. Let's go ahead and have
You'll be pouring glasses of sherry left and right.
1964 Boudoir Boudot Magoo here.
You'll be cooking salmon and, freaking crazy ass shit like that. I think there are some people though, and I'm one of them, and this is, another of my biggest failings among many, is that I don't know what the word is. I internalize things. Like with this whole layoff thing, my company was just in the crapper, not doing well, especially with COVID. And they had to cut a bunch of employees, keep the lights on. And unfortunately, I'm one of those people that got cut. Now, that has really hit me hard emotionally. Financially, we're fine. I don't worry about that at all. I worked there for 5 years. I've got unemployment coming. I'll look for another job. But the mental burden of that has really taken its toll and, has really affected me. And I'm not one of those people that depression usually strikes. It can hit some people easily. Some people never get depressed. And my goodness, good for them. I would say 90% of my life, depression has never been a problem. But this time, it's really hit. And it's really taken its mental toll on me. And, my wife has said to me many times, like, hey, you really don't talk to me about, how this is affecting you and how you're feeling. You've told me that you're stressed. You told me that you're upset about it. But you really don't open up about it. And I think the failing in me is that I feel like as a 36-year-old man boy, I should be able to handle something as trivial in my eyes as job loss.
Dude.
Now, I say trivial because I try to put it in a big picture. We're not losing our house. We're not missing payments on bills. We don't have collections or collectors coming at us. We're really in a good spot. It's just the fact that I have to now search for a job in a declined economy because of COVID. COVID's still happening. It's not been resolved. So the job market's not looking good. Businesses aren't in the best place. So I think the job hunt is going to be worse now than it would have been if this had happened pre or post COVID. But I feel like so many other people are in such worse situations that I don't have any business being depressed or stressed or anxious over the situation that I'm in, because there are so many other people out there that are worse off than me. And I think that's where the whole, like, I try to handle this myself.
Dude,
I try to just I'm 36. I'm an adult. I should be able to handle this.
your
But
age.
the stress and the depression just really starts to bubble up.
Well,
And I feel like I have a hard time reaching out to even like the people that I'm closest with and going like, hey man, I could really use something right now. You know, like I could really use just a break from the constant stress in my own mind of thinking throughout the day. I got to look for a job. I got to find a job. I got to job hunt. I got to look for this. I got to update my resume. I got to start sending out all these applications. Like, what can I be doing? What company should I be looking at? You know, what type of entry-level job can I take that will pay the bills? If I can't find something that was paying me as well as before, and I have to take a stupid little entry-level job, am I going to have to get a second job? How much am I going to see my children? You know, like all this stuff really starts to bubble up, and I should be able to offload that on people and ask for help, even like a distraction. You know, like, hey man, can we like just talk or hang out or do something just to take my mind off it? But I feel like I should be able to handle this as an adult on my own.
That is the problem that I was talking about, is that you feel inherently, as we all do, I do as well, that you shouldn't be this distressed or upset over these things. And that's simply not true. Like, that's the thing, is we have this inherent idea nowadays, and it's not just in America, it's everywhere. Like, people nowadays have this idea that, number one, what you talked about was, oh, there are people who have it worse than me. That's true, but that's always going to be the case. If you have that be your measuring bar for you being able to feel your emotions and deal with them in some kind of healthy way, it's always going to be ahead of you. You're never going to catch up to it. Second of all, as far as your emotions go with you feeling depressed and upset, let it happen. Like, you're allowed. You're allowed to feel that way. I mean, number one, this came out of nowhere. Number two, the economic, political, and sociological climate of the world, not even just our country, of the world, is in shambles in 2020. You're allowed to feel that way. Let yourself do it. You'll feel so much better if you get those things out. Like I told you today, before we started recording, all day, literally, I woke up emotionally exhausted, and all day at work, I was there, but I was mentally not there. I got all my work done. I did everything fine, but like, it was just, I wasn't there, and I was going, literally the last 10 minutes, I was going 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, until I could leave, just so I could, let myself go. Because when I'm at work, I have to be happy, fun, guy on the radio. So like, I got in the car and I literally screamed because I had to get it out. And I came home and I went to bed. I like slept for a couple hours because I just couldn't handle it. I woke up and I was still a ball of stress, and it was 10 minutes. My sister came in and booped me on the nose. Like, it literally booped me on the nose. And for 10 minutes, I just word vomited. Like, things that were bothering me. And after that, I felt so much better. That's the thing, is like, you're allowed to feel your emotions. There is no construct. There is no one telling you can't be upset. You can't be depressed. And you can't deal with it in the way that you see fit. As long as you're not being self-destructive, dude, if you need a day where you just go for a drive, go for a fucking drive. If you want to, like, go be alone that's why when you asked me, you said, hey, man, I was kind of given the green card to come up and visit and go to the gym and shit. Well, like, or given carte blanche to come up and visit and go to the gym and stuff. That's why I was like, dude, what are you doing on Friday? Like, I was like, right now, because number one, I could use it. Number two, I feel like getting away could, behoove you. And I was like, let's do it right now. Let's make it happen. Now, plans obviously altered and changed, and that's all well and good. But like, don't ever feel like there is something intangible in your way that is keeping you from feeling your emotions. Yeah, you're 36. Big deal. 36-year-olds are still allowed to be sad. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to be depressed. And you're allowed to look at someone, especially your wife, and say, hey, this is how I feel, and tell her, because she, of anyone in the world, will understand how you feel. Like, it's okay to let your guard down. It's okay. Like, and I know I'm going on this big dumb tirade, but like, and it's hard to break out of that comfort zone and let yourself be vulnerable because you feel like it's wrong. And trust me, the reason I'm saying all this is because I feel it too. Like, we all do. Let yourself be okay feeling your problems. Dude, if you need to cry, cry. Fuck it. Who cares? Nothing wrong with a good man cry. If you need to go somewhere and punch a heavy bag, do that. If you need to drive out in the middle of nowhere, stand in a field and scream at the heavens, do that. You're fine. There's my tirade. Beef, now to you.
Echo. I can't say it better, man. That's,
Like I said, I should be a therapist. Like,
I don't hold anything back ever. And that's not necessarily the best thing in the world either, because like I am a creature of, I don't want to say habit, but I'm a creature of like plans. Like, whenever I got shit planned, like, that is, the thing that gets me through the fucking work day, the work week, the work month, whatever, is pointing to this thing and saying, thank God X is coming. And, as soon as, like, one part of X goes wrong, I'm off the rails. And, like, it always feels like it comes, like, everything just kind of fucking crumbles. And it's like, well, so much for that. So, I mean, it's certainly not always easy having your emotions, like, at the surface, because it does tend for a lot of, like, manic highs and lows, like, you get super excited, but then whenever things go south, you also get super fucking, like, in your head. You're like, oh my god, this is the worst. Why the fuck am I working this job if this shit's just gonna not work out and I'm gonna be miserable on the fucking weekends too? Son of a bitch, son of a bitch, son of a bitch. So, there are times that I wish I could suppress some of my emotions and kind of, like, lock them away, but it is what it is, and I've accepted who I am, and you Ransom, if you need a hug, I will hug you.
Ooh, hello.
A big beef hug, but yeah, I mean, like Poot said, man, it's just, sometimes there are things that absolutely just require you to open up the vault and just fucking go crazy.
Seriously. Like, he's
look,
not wrong.
We've gotten real deep. Real deep here within the past 20 minutes or so.
You want to do $1 million butt?
That's what she said. Do we have time for a few of those?
We've got time.
I always love a good one of those.
I've got one. You ready?
Oh boy, let's have it.
All right, you ready? $1 million butt. You're basically a Smurf. You dress like a Smurf and talk like a Smurf. Would you be okay with it, or would you say Smurf that?
This is for life. For the rest of my life.
Oh yeah, for the rest of your life. You get and we'll say you get $1 million a year for the rest of your life. But you're a Smurf.
Do we? So a couple follow-ups. Do we exist in like a Smurf community, or is it like the real world and we're just a Smurf?
No, it's real world. You're you. You just literally turn blue and you have to dress and talk like a Smurf all the time.
Am I a couple inches tall, or am I still the same height?
No, you're you. You literally just
okay.
turn blue, have to dress like a Smurf, and talk like a Smurf.
I do like blue, but I don't like not wearing a shirt. I feel like that's a deal breaker. The goofy
you're
hats,
a Smurf,
you know.
so like your skin would be smooth blue, like you wouldn't have body hair. I hear Smurfs
Some
had
Smurfs
big
wear-
dicks, so
some Smurfs wear shirts, right? Or no? I don't know. It's been a while.
I think they just wear
no.
pants and
Oh,
boots
dear.
and hats. You know, but $1 million a year for that's.
So I would do it. If it's
I
$1
would do
million a year, because at that point, I don't have to worry about a career. Because I can live
Right.
within $1 million a year easily. So it's not like I have to go and be presentable somewhere. You know, like go for a job interview and, you know, show up there all blue and shirtless and they go, what's going on here? Like, I don't have to explain it away at that point. So I would do it. Yeah. Smurf that. I'd be all smurfing for it.
Okay. So he'll take the 1 million Smurfs a year. Beef, what about you?
Oh yeah. For sure. I have a preclusion to blue, and I like money, and I like being able to say Smurf. You know, no smurfing away, man. Go get smurfed. I'm in.
I don't know if I would do it. I
Yeah,
don't
Smurf.
look.
No, Smurf. Smurf me. To me, Smurf.
to me, Smurf. You know what? I'm going to be the dissenter here. I don't think I would do it.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I would do it.
Think of how great that would look
No,
on stage. You with a guitar all smurfed out. People would come to see that.
I know people would come.
Smurf and destroy.
Yeah, but that's the problem is that I would get up there and instead of singing Panama, I'd have to sing Smurfama. Like, it just wouldn't work. You know, instead of girls, it'd be Smurf. Like, I don't know.
It would be a gimmick all your own.
It would be a gimmick on my own, but you know what? I don't look good in blue, and I like dressing in black on stage instead of white pants and a white hat with no shirt. So I'm gonna say no. Let me think. Not even let me think. You go ahead and I got another one real quick. Okay. $1 million, but randomly throughout the day for an entire year. So you get $1 million up front, okay? But for one entire year, a random room that you walk into will turn into a Nickelodeon Double Dare-like game show themed around what you're going to do in that room.
Hell yes.
Yes, I would do it.
Oh, so
you guys
much.
are not thinking about the ramifications of this. We're getting close to 40, boys. Have you ever been to the proctologist?
Uh-oh. Oh. Yeah, but that's not a guarantee. There's a chance, but that's not a guarantee.
Yeah, but there's also a chance.
Think of the hijinks, though. I mean,
Listen,
you're one for appreciating the hijinks of things. You know what I mean? Like, you're one for appreciating that.
When I was in mini beef, I'm not gonna say small because I was never small, but when I was in mini beef, I would fucking make Double Dare sets in my living room. I had flags that I would like put up on the wall that I could only get to by jumping on top of my couch, and like a flag under. You know,
Dude, we did that
I have
too.
fucking prepared for this. I have fucking prepared for this. So yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, beef is a firm yes. So for $1 million for a year, randomly rooms would turn into Nickelodeon Double Dare games. Ransom, what about you?
And I hope one of the years that I need the $1 million, I have to get it out of that big fucking nose. Like, just grab the fucking bag of money from that nose. That'd be great.
It's 1 year. You get $1 million. It's not
So
every
it's like,
year.
I'll still
So it could be like, it's time for me to take a poo. And I walk into the bathroom, and now suddenly I have to finagle an obstacle course to make it to the toilet to take that poo.
Yep.
I'd still do it. I think that would be...
Yeah, but it's going to be themed around what you're going to do. So think about that.
So I gotta dig through a butt of poop to find a flag in order to get to the toilet?
And you're sitting there going, oh, well, it's double dare poop, so it's going to be chocolate pudding. No.
Ooh. I don't know. I think I'd still do it.
All right. I would absolutely do that. Like B said, for the hijinks.
It'll be fine.
No, like Ransom said, for the hijinks and for the lulls.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
For the lulls.
Go ahead.
Just to have to traverse my kitchen as a double dare set in order to get a sandwich. I'd be all about that. That would be fun. Sometimes.
All right, Ransom, what's yours?
So you get $1 million, but your arms become wings, and you're essentially half Birdman. Now
I'd never have to buy a car again. Okay.
You could fly, but that's all going to depend on your body mass and your upper arm strength. So, like, maybe you're a bird that takes flight. Maybe you're a dodo that, just runs around on your legs and has some wings and is completely useless.
Oh, gosh.
Now, like, when I say wings, I don't mean, like, folded up like bird wings. You know what I mean? So you're not, like, running around, It's kind of like, think of the Rito in Breath of the Wild, where their wings are basically, they act as our arms. So they're, long, just like our arms are. They're not folded up, like a bird. But it's still a wing. You don't have hands. You have feathers at the end.
I still would do it. I would do it. Just imagine me soaring into Butler.
Are you going to be able to hold weights, though, with those
Hold
wings? Like, weights you'll be able to lift? And you don't have hands anymore.
Okay, my arms won't be swole, but I can do core, I can do legs, I can do back. We'll be good.
All right. I imagine it would be pretty difficult to hold a controller or a guitar.
Says you.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I don't have wings.
That's what I was thinking. Like I use my hands an awful lot. I think I'd be out at that point. So no, I don't think I'd do it.
I think I'd have to be a no as well.
Oh man, flying though. That's always been the dream.
Yeah, but I mean that's all going to depend on. I don't know. Like I equate it to, like, if I go into the gym right now and I try to do, 20 pull-ups, ain't gonna happen. I don't have the upper arm strength for that.
I don't have that now, so you're not making a good argument.
So, like, am I going to be able to sustain flight with the arm strength that I've got and the rest of the body mass that I have? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I would equate this to how a plane flies. God rest his soul, our friend Greg. Our God rest his soul, our friend Greg once told me, said, you know what my professor at flight school told us how a plane works? He said it works on two principles: differential pressure and pure fucking magic.
Oh, okay.
So
confidence in the flight industry is not going up.
It would take a little bit of a trial and error, but you know what? There's an updraft and everything. You can glide a lot. You ever seen a bird fly? They don't flap the whole time. It's fine.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. All right, I got one. $1 million, but every 100th chew of your life, you have to scream at the top of your lungs.
Hell no. Hell no. Do you realize how often you chew? No.
Well, I mean, we know how much you chew beef, but like for the rest of us.
Like when my mom told me this. Whenever you get the gastric surgery, they want you to chew your food, like each bite, I think like 20 or 25 times. So, by that logic, every 4 bites, you would be screaming at the top of your lungs.
Oh, no.
No, no, no. No.
I would do it for the lols.
See,
I can count. Like, I know how it works.
I don't, COVID, I'd say not a big deal. Because I don't spend a whole lot of time chewing anything outside of my own house. And my family are already accustomed to my random outbursts. So that wouldn't change anything for them, honestly. They'd be like, oh, okay, that's the 100th chew. Dad's screaming again. Good enough. What would concern me is, once COVID is done or there's a vaccine and people are going out to restaurants again, do I want to be that guy in the middle of the restaurant enjoying a nice burger and then suddenly, everybody's looking like, what happened to that guy?
But no. Here, you guys are missing the perfect way to explain this away.
Tourette's.
3 words. I have Tourette's.
Ooh.
I had a stroke.
That would, I think there are many benefits to that because I think that would limit my expenditure at restaurants because I would probably be less inclined to go to many restaurants.
There you go.
For fear of embarrassment, mainly of my family, not of myself. I'm mostly an embarrassment any place that I go.
I mean, chewing gum is out the window. Because
I don't chew a lot of gum.
Chewing gum in church.
Sucks.
And then,
Yeah, I don't chew a lot of
Who
gum. I'm
chews
not a
gum
big
in
gum
church,
guy.
you heathen?
I do.
You heathen?
I would say, yeah, I would do it. I would do it because I would try to focus on the benefits of it. I would be eating out less. I'd be spending less money. I'd probably be eating less. Like if we went out somewhere, I'd be like, okay, well, I'll probably have the soup because I don't have to do a whole lot of chewing with soup.
Depends on the soup.
Yeah.
But the thing is, again, if you're in the situation where you lose track of counting, you just say, I have Tourette's, and everyone will go, oh, he's so brave. And then,
oh, he's so brave.
then,
I'd do it. I'd say yes. I'd be yes on that.
I would absolutely say yes as well because I don't chew gum. And, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Don't really chew my food that well.
Okay.
I just eat it like a duck. Beef, do you have one you want to throw into the mix?
I don't.
Get creative.
I don't have anything good.
Get creative.
All right, here's one.
All right.
Here's one for you. $1 million, but once a year for the remainder, you will, instead of pooping a turd, you'll poop lava. Now, since it's coming out of your body, it's not going to negatively affect you. So it's not going to burn your anus off when this happens. It's going to be like, oh, it came out, and suddenly, once it's out, now it's lava.
Wait, so it turns into lava when it hits the whatever it hits?
Right when it's out of you. Just think of it in the fact that you're pooping lava, but it doesn't harm you. So like it's not going to burn your butt.
Well, okay,
it's not going to physically harm you in any way because your body processed it. But once a year, instead of it being a soft brown stool, it's going to be a hot yellow lava.
No, because literally, no matter what you do, you're going to ruin everything. And what if you accidentally shart? Burn your pants, then burn your ass. Listen,
well,
I don't
but
care.
I mean, if you think about that, how many times do you accidentally go through your life pooping your pants?
Listen,
I mean,
everybody
as an
gets
adult,
everybody gets one a year. Everybody gets one a year. Don't
that's
waste
a scenario that I've never really I'm not familiar with that scenario. Like, oh, I'm going through my day. Oh, I gotta go home.
You
I gotta go home and change. Like, it's never happened to me.
You of anybody literally
What's
have
that
never
supposed to
had
mean?
the moment where you were like, you've never had like where you've gotten sick like that. Dude, I can't tell you. I think maybe I can count on two hands how many times I've almost shit myself on the air.
There's a big difference between almost and going through with it. Like, I'm confident in saying, as an adult, I've never been sick enough or in that much of a predicament where I've gone, well, that happened. There's no turning back. I mean, I've had to make some emergency pull-offs, or been like, okay, I got to hit an exit and find a get-go or a sheets or something. I mean, that's happened. But I've never run into the scenario where I've gone, well, we're throwing those away.
Oh, you're seriously, really?
Yes. I've never had an experience where I've been anywhere in my adult life that I've gone, yep, straight up just poop my pants.
Oh,
There's been some clenchers, but it's never reached the point where I've gone, got to start over again tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
I'm not washing that.
Good.
I'm
I
just throwing
agree.
it straight in the trash can.
I've never hit that.
are you guys serious? I'm the only one here?
What's happening
poops
now?
his pants, twice a year.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
okay.
Here's the rule.
Twice a year.
Here's the rule. Number one, every single person in the world gets one a year. If you're an adult, if you're at the point where you have control of your bowels, you get one a year. Like, you get one. Dude, I've had it happen where the stomach flu comes on out of nowhere. Have you never gotten sick like that where you're perfectly fine and then literally within the span of 10 minutes you want to die?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been sick before to where it's like, I got to be in close proximity.
No, I mean it comes on out of nowhere.
Where I'm going throughout my day and I go, oh, I'm really starting to not feel well. And then wham, there's a doo-doo in my pants.
Dude, that happened to me.
I've never had that happen.
That happened to me literally on the day of a gig.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, the way it worked was...
Gotten real off topic on this, but all right.
No,
right?
we're not off topic because this is how this should go.
Okay.
Dude, I woke up the day of a gig, and I'm trying to think how that went because I was so sick. I woke up the day of a gig, and I was brushing my teeth, and I literally had to like pirouette spin down onto the toilet. And for every
but you hit the toilet like you didn't. No, did you shit your pants?
I almost like it was.
There you go. But it's almost.
No. It's. I'm trying to figure out how to put this. Yes and no. Does that make sense?
Dude, if you shit your pants, just say you shit your pants, man.
Well, no.
It's okay.
It was
no
because. It was because I felt it happen all at once. It was the pull down, so it was like the upper half of my underwear.
Oh, boy.
Like, and then I was on the toilet, and I was like, what is happening? And then the rest of the day, literally, I spent every 5 to 10 minutes in and out of the bathroom. We had a gig that night, and I'm going, how am I going to play this gig? I can't cancel. We're going. Like, so
No. Nope. If there's a fear that I'm going to have rocket propelled poo come out of me to where my sphincter's going to go, nah, man, I got nothing. There's no gig. There's nothing. There is me 3 steps from the toilet.
We were in
a
new town. It was our first gig at this bar. And they were really excited, and it like I was like, I can't miss this gig. What am I gonna? Literally from like 8 in the morning until 30 minutes before I left. Every 5 to 10 minutes, I was in the bathroom. Like,
I gotta be honest. I mean, it's not. There's no no modesty, no fear of embarrassment. But I have to be 100% honest. I've never been to the point where my sphincter has failed me. I never have.
I hope it never happens because, like,
yeah, man, I'm sure. I'm hoping it doesn't. But
dude,
no, it's not a scenario I'm familiar with.
But regardless, I would not do that.
There have been times where I've been like, okay, I've got to pee real bad, and maybe a little bit comes out as the zipper's coming down.
Speaking of having to pee real bad, Ransom, come up with another one. I gotta pee.
Like,
that's been a thing.
Like, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's happened. Where it's like,
you're an old man.
Dribble. Like, oh, there's a little dribble happening. I mean, it's not a frequent thing, but it's happened before. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. The poo, that's never really happened to me.
No, me neither. I think poo's just a weirdo.
But, I mean, sometimes you gotta slow shutter speed on that sphincter, and it's just not up to snuff.
Not up to snuff.
Ooh, poor Poot. I don't know what to make of that. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't know what to make of that.
That's funny.
Listen, like.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
All right.
Listen, he says.
Listen, I've never, I can't think of a time in my adult life where I peed my pants. But, okay, for example, there was one night we were down at Ransom's and we were making much jocularity and having fun.
Am I going to have to clean my house?
No. No, this was years ago.
Oh, thank God.
I woke up the next day before everyone was awake. I got up off the couch and I was like, okay, I'm going to get going. And I walked out of the house. I gathered up my effects and I walked out of the house. Literally the second the door shut, my anus went, you have 2 minutes. Like, it was dear. And I tried to get back in the house and it was locked. And I was like,
yep.
Fuck. And so I drove down to the 7-Eleven and I walked in there and I was just like, can I use your bathroom? And they were like, no, employees only. And I was like, what if I buy something? And they were like, no, employees only. And I was like, why? And they're like, we have a drug problem. People using drugs in the bathroom. I'm like, I gotta shit. I literally, like, at poor them at 7:30 in the morning or whatever it was. I was like, I gotta shit. And they were like, sorry, employees only. Ran out of there, jumped in the thing, and I'm like, nothing's open. I'm gonna shit my pants. I can't do this. It's the worst. I don't know how I'm getting. It's the thing where you're like bouncing and you can't help but bounce.
I got a pine tree in my yard, man. Like, have at it.
Yo, well, that's the thing is like, so I circled around and I went to Kmart.
Yeah, buddy.
And they were just opening. Literally, I was the only car in the parking lot. And they were just opening the doors. And I walked in. And I went, "Where's your bathroom?" And they were like, "Right over there." I ran in there. I am
blew it up.
Not. I won't go into the gritty details.
Yeah, please don't.
But they may or may not have had a mess outside of the bowl to clean up.
Listen. Well, I never went. That's probably another reason I never went into that Kmart. So if we're going to go back to the original question,
yes,
would you or wouldn't you?
No.
So Poot's got some poo problems. He's not doing it. Beef?
I mean, like you think to yourself, okay, I can make a fucking outhouse in my backyard where I just fucking poop into all the time, just in case. But there's always going to be a chance where you absolutely have to do it at your friend's house, in church, like out eating. And then, like, you walk out, and someone's like, hey, that guy just blew up a toilet because he's in lava. And everyone's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And you're like, I don't know. Even though you know damn well Even though
I
you
took the
know
million.
damn well. No, man. No, I wouldn't, because, like, I can't imagine walking out of your bathroom and be like, well, it's happened. I love the toilet. See you later. Been a great friendship we've had up to this point. See you later, buddy.
Oh, I would do it.
Of course you would.
I would do
Because
it.
you poop all the time anyway.
Listen
Like,
up, son. Listen, son.
That's what you do.
I feel like I've got, like, I could, $1 million, I could construct a pretty nice separate space. One sturdily constructed room off the side of my house, to where it's all it is just toilet, fortified. It can handle it. I'll still have money left. And I try at all costs not to do the boom boom outside of my own house, because I have
the boom boom.
You heard me. I have a germ thing. So I'm accustomed to it being, okay, we got to go. Like, all right, I got probably a good solid 20 minutes left. Shovel your food in. We're out of here. We're out of the restaurant. It's coming. Let's go. Check, please. Box it up. I'd do it. I'd be all about it.
That's a tough one.
I'd be all
I don't
about
think
it.
I would.
All right, so here's another one. $1 million, but every time you sneezed, something random comes out of your nose. It could be literally anything. It could be confetti. It could be cake frosting. It could be an elephant. It could be corn. Like, you're fine. It's coming out. Now, if you blew an elephant out of your nose, it's, this is a imaginary scenario.
This is
so
a
it's
cartoon
mystical.
situation, so your nose
Yeah.
would stretch to allow it.
Yeah, it goes back to normal, but you're left with the byproduct of whatever comes out of that nose. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's Jaguar, and now you're in a predicament.
Oh, so the Jaguar just
Now
doesn't
you're in
run
a
off into the
predicament.
ether.
It just doesn't disappear. Like, it's there. Like, it's there in the now. So, you sneeze a rabbit out of your nose, the rabbit's probably going to be like, damn, I got to get the heck out of here. And it's going to run off. If you sneeze a hyena out of your nose, it's probably going to be like, huh, you're a tasty morsel. Maybe I'm going to, turn my rage onto you. But it exists. It exists in the now when it comes out of your nose.
Oh,
If you're Vince McMahon, this is a null issue.
yeah, right? It would certainly make you learn a little bit of self-control to not sneeze.
I
Now,
don't.
have you ever you've been in those? I'm sure you have been in those positions where you're like, okay, I don't want to sneeze at this point. So, like, you plug up a nostril, like, you could feel it, like, it's like, oh, this left nostril is going to cause me to sneeze. I got a tickle. So you plug it up, breathe out of your mouth, you try to control it, and it goes away, and you're good. You don't have to sneeze anymore. Gone. I mean, those things happen. I've done it before. Where it's like, oh, I feel one coming on. I pinch my nose, I breathe out of my mouth, like, I'm real, methodical about the breathing, and it goes away. Most of the time I sneeze because I don't give a crap. It's a sneeze. Who cares? But there have been times where it's like, okay, this isn't appropriate. Or like, oh, my kid's asleep in the back of the car, and she's a tyrant, and I don't want to wake her up with the sneeze, so I'm going to plug it up.
I generally hold my sneezes in, so I don't worry about it. So, yeah, I do it. Why not? Because I hold my sneezes. Very rarely do they come out of nowhere, like my poops.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you gotta think about it like the role of a 10-sider, man. Like, most of the time, it's gonna be okay. Sometimes you're gonna get something good. A fucking gold brick, $1,000. Sometimes, every so often, you're gonna get burned by it.
Yeah, you're gonna sneeze fire or a turd, or you're gonna sneeze and a bullet comes flying out of your nose.
Jimmy
like,
Hoffa and an oil drum. Who knows?
Yeah, right. Mini nuke. Here it comes. I mean, it could be anything that exists.
I'm in. The laws.
So, I mean, you could sneeze an atomic bomb. Now you're all dead.
I'm in. I'll do it.
Poot, of all people, you tempting fate, my friend, is not something that I would have expected.
Listen, after the 2020 that I've had, let alone 2020, the past couple weeks that I've had, fucking bring it on. Like, I'm not afraid of anything anymore.
Let's do it.
I'm not. Like you know what? I sneeze, and the first thing I sneeze is mustard gas, and it finishes me. Neat. Cool. All right. I got one more, and then we're going to have to wrap this up in a nice little burrito. You ready?
Beef, did you answer that? Did you say you would do it or not do it?
Oh.
I don't think I would.
Okay.
Just because I know that, when it comes to bad things happening, I'm usually fairly well targeted as well, so I would avoid that.
Fair enough.
Okay, now this... okay, I have one that's an obvious answer, but it's really funny, so I'm going to do this and then one more. Okay?
All right.
Here's the very obvious one. $1 million, but you have an evil twin. He looks exactly like you, and people think you're him. His only goal is to fuck you over. He's going to bang your girlfriend/wife. He's going to fuck up your work. He's going to disable the brakes in your car. The whole 9 yards.
Oh, no. Ooh. So he's trying to kill you. Is that what you're saying? Like,
not kill you. No, not kill you.
Up the brakes in your car. That's,
no,
that's a fatality.
Killing you would be too easy.
Fatality.
He's trying to fuck up your whole life.
I was going to say yes if it was just going to be minor inconveniences. But if you're going to start cutting brake lines, then that's endangering my children. And I'm going to say no.
I would do
now,
it.
if it was just hijinks, I would say yes.
I would do it, and here's why. Fucking, what a twist. I'm the evil twin. Like, you ain't gonna fucking out evil me. And when it becomes fuck or get fucked, like I can work in that. So as opposed to him trying to submarine me, I would be trying to submarine him.
All right. So aside from Beef having a good twin, Ransom, you and I are the ones here. I would. You know what? I would not do it because the world is already doing that for me. Ransom, what about you?
If the actions of this evil twin could potentially bring harm upon my children or wife, like brake lines being cut, like, oh, I left the gas on the stove. Uh-oh, your house exploded and you're all dead. I'd say no. If it was minor tomfoolery, I would work around that and say yes. Like I'd give everybody that I was close to a safe word to be like, look, before you have any interactions with me, you ask for this password. If they don't give it, nope, it's the evil twin. Don't do dealings with them. Ignore them. I got an evil twin. This is what you got to do. This is the world that I live in.
The evil twin's gonna know that, and he's gonna get it out of somebody.
Oh no, he doesn't know what you're thinking.
It would be.
It's another
an
person.
Inconvenience because it would be it would be a rotating password. It's like every week, I'd be in contact with you, Beef, be like, hey, here's the old password, so you know it's me.
Oh, I
It's
forgot to
changed.
update
Here's a
my
new
random
one.
password. Shit.
Yeah. So now, now the burden is on you. Because if you're like, hey, man, why did you come over and, spank my cat with a piece of bologna? I'm like, did you get the password? Well, yeah, it was this. No, man, that was the old password. This is on you.
Dude, if I
you
ever
let him in.
Dude, if I ever get cheated on again, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to confront the person. I'm going to say, hey, why'd you spank my cat with a piece of bologna?
Yeah, man. Like it's on you. If you don't keep updated with the password, whatever hijinks befall you on my evil twin's behalf, that's on you. If we're going to be friends, this is the world that you're going to have to live in. So potentially doing harm to my family, I say no. If it's general hijinks and tomfoolery, I say yes. Poot, what say you? You say no?
No, I said absolutely no because I said the world's already doing all that shit for me. It's fine.
Okay.
Where's my $1 million? The world. All right, here's
Yeah, 2020. Come on.
Bring it on. All right. So, all right, this one I don't know. It seems like a very obvious thing. $1 million, but every time you meet someone new, you have to hug them for 30 seconds.
Now, what do you mean by meet somebody new? Like a formal introduction? Or like anytime you pass a random person on the street, it's like, oh.
I'm going to simplify this. Every time you meet someone where it's like you're in a setting where it's like, okay, we are now engaged in social interaction. So if you're just walking down the street, you're not meeting all those people, you're walking by them. Like, so every time you meet someone, you have to hug them for 30 seconds.
Now, is the meeting as in depth as a waiter or waitress comes up to my table and asks me what I want to order? Like, does that count? Like, okay, now I'm going to have to hug this person.
I will simplify this even further. Every time you are introduced to someone new, you have to hug them for 30 seconds. So if your waitress comes up and says, hi, my name's Cheryl, I'm going to be taking your order today, you have to hug her for 30 seconds.
Oh, Cheryl might not like that. I'm going to say no, because even pre-COVID, I'm a little bit of a germaphobe, and I'm not really a touchy-feely person. Like, shaking hands is the absolute most that I'm willing to go in physical contact with a new person. And even then, sometimes it's a stretch. Like, probably shouldn't be shaking this person's hand because they look a little grungy. I'm not big on the social hugging outside of people that I'm close with. It's a comfort thing for me, so I would say no. I'd pass up $1 million for that.
I'd say yes. I hug everybody all the fucking time anyway.
Same here, man. Like, I am absolutely a hugger. Absolutely. I'm in. Sold. 100%. Sold.
That'll do it, I guess.
I like hugs, man. So I'm in on that. But guys, you know what? Despite the technical issues at the beginning of all this turned out to be a really good episode of Breaking Kayfabe.
I've enjoyed it. We've gotten some ridiculous conversations. We've gotten some really in-depth personal things that I'm sure listeners probably don't either want to hear about or don't care about. Such as,
as usual,
Ransom's turmoils in life. So.
No, man. I mean, like that's. I feel like it's a little glimpse behind the curtain. Pay all the attention to the man behind the curtain.
Oh, yeah.
But
well, I mean, we get Hoot's love life and Ransom's work life.
Oh,
Beef's general disdain for everybody.
It literally,
right?
It literally is out of decorum that I did not go into depth about what happened, but I can tell you something. If you listen to the episode, you could probably glean about what happened. And I'm sure you guys will hear about it on Saturday.
Yeah. So hey, for Breaking Kayfabe over.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we record. I don't know if these episodes are going to come out back-to-back on back-to-back days, but this is a Wednesday. We're recording our show tomorrow, the general Pittsburgh Piledriver podcast show, and I'm sure it's going to be a doozy. because we've got a horror show to talk about. And I don't know if we're going to, I can foresee us getting into arguments. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll all be on the same page. But there's definitely a title dispute that's going to be coming. And we're going to see what side the advocate's advocate falls on in this argument. I'm sure that
we'll find out.
we're going to go to blows on this.
Well, we'll see.
I'm curious to see where the advocate lands.
We'll find out, won't we, tomorrow on the Pittsburgh Piledriver podcast. And if this comes out tomorrow, it probably won't because Poot has terrible internet and has a hard time uploading things to YouTube. We shall see. Have a good night, everyone. Breaking Kayfabe out.